Saturday?
Saturday, I feel like we got a lot of done. We're improving, and that's all that's important to this team.
Coaches feel like you are improving?
Yes, sir.
Where do you feel like y'all made the biggest strides as a unit?
I feel like the team has came together. We improved. Like Jake said earlier, the leadership on this team has grown tremendously.
Jerrin, there's a lot of new faces, I guess, in the safety group.
Yeah.
With guys switching position. I mean, how would you say this group has come along through this spring and then through this fall camp?
Yeah, the safety group, I feel like if in my perspective that I play safety, I feel like we have a very good, strong bond, not just on the field but off the field. And I feel like us playing multiple safeties is going to be good for us for the season. We're going to need all the guys.
Jerrin, how have you taken your game to the next level?
My part of the game, I like to focus on being very communicative, helping guys around me get better, and that's one thing that I have taken a lot of focus on.
Which of the young players in the secondary really come on, you feel like?
I feel like all our young guys, B.J. Allen and Larry Turner, I feel like all our young guys are improving a lot faster than a normal freshman.
Any more mature than?
Oh, yeah, I feel like they came with a lot of maturity. They came in early, so they learned the program early, and they're getting things together.
Jerrin, you guys obviously throughout the scrimmages had a lot of pick sixes, a lot of interceptions. What led to some of that success? Is it was some coaching or different tips, or you guys have more of a green light to jump routes? I'm just kind of curious.
I'll say the biggest thing is communication, getting everybody on the same page. You know, one thing that our coaches like to say, if we're right, we're right. If we're wrong, let's all be wrong.
Who's had the most interceptions this camp?
I think Deshaun Jameson's had a pretty good camp.
What do you see out of him?
He's that leader that he's one of the oldest guys on the team. He has a lot of experience, and he just brings that with the team, and he shows what he can do to the team.
How much have you tried to teach Keaton and Anthony, because they're moving to a new spot, whereas you've played safety for basically your whole career?
I wouldn't say teach. I would say that we all help each other off the field. When we like to encourage each other, even when we make a bad play. When we make a good play, it's all the same. So when you say teach, I don't see it as that. I see it as being this great teammates and helping each other. We want each other to get better. And that's part of what we like to do.
Because you're in the middle of the defense, do you have more communication responsibility, or does Anthony, or does it basically fall on everybody?
It can be anyone. Whatever, we see different things sometimes, and on the back end, we have the best view on the team. So a lot of communication comes from the back end, and the safeties work together to make everybody right.
How would you describe Anthony's transition from corner to boundary safety, and what stands out about his game?
Cook is he's a great player. He has very good instincts, and him moving from nickel to safety, it really wasn't a big change for him. It was something that he was comfortable with. He understands what we got to do, and him just being a guy who has a lot of reps on the field has make it a lot easier for him.
Who's the biggest hitter?
On the team, we got a lot of hard hitters. That's a hard one. I don't know. It's a lot of hard hitters.
What about secondary?
Secondary, I don't know. It's a lot of big hits. You just can't say who's the hardest hitter. A lot of guys love to hit.
What was missing last year, Jerrin? What was?
That's a hard one. I'll just say we didn't have that leadership that we have now.
What do you like about Mo and his game and what he does for you?
Mo's a striker. He loves to hit. He's one of those that loves to hit. He's one of those that loves to learn, and he's developing real good.
What have you learned from Coach Gideon? What has he taught you?
Coach Gideon, I love that he coaches hard. He wants the best out of you, and that's one thing. As a player, I want to be coached, and Coach Gideon has pushed me really hard, and he wants the best out of me.
You guys obviously are doing a little bit more man this year than
Yes,
you
sir.
guys were last year. Talk about the pressure that puts on you,
Yeah.
and how much your head needs to be on the swivel, and your awareness and communication, all that.
We should talk about it. I like that we're playing man this year. I feel like it's simpler. I feel like we got to know where your help is, and that's just part of the man. And I feel like it's very DB friendly.
What do you see out of Jatavian Sanders?
JT, he's a dog. He had a great camp, great hands, great route runner, just great overall tight end. He can block, nice size. He's a good one.
Yeah, obviously y'all watched Quinn and Hudson compete at this quarterback battle for the last few months. Obviously, Quinn's the guy. What do you think that he did to win that starting job? And I guess what have you just seen from him in the last 10 or so months of working with him?
I'm on the defensive side, so I really don't know much about what's going on that side. But both our QBs have strong arms. They're both smart. They're both leaders, and we're most definitely gonna need both of them.
What has Jalen Gilbo shown you?
Jalen, he's one of them guys who came in real mature. One of the guys came in ready to work.
What, like, he's made some plays, what, is he just instinctive, or is he doing his homework? What would you say?
I feel like he's real focused. He's determined to get better, and that's one thing that shows out about JG, that he shows you that he's ready to work.
What about Jameer?
Jameer, he's a very smart corner. He has very good instincts at that corner position.
When you talk about communication, how does that get better? Is that something that happens naturally? Is that something you all have to work on? I mean, how does communication get better?
At safety, is natural, but it's something that you do have to work on. It's something that you just that comes with bonding with your teammates. That comes with relationships. It's all comes in together.
How long has it taken Ryan Watts to kind of?
Ryan came in ready. He came in great. He came in ready to go.
Did he say it's much different than at Columbus where he was there?
He doesn't really mention it. He just comes to practice and does his job.
Is he quiet? Is he a leader? Is he loud?
I think he's in between.
Yeah.
On the field, he's communicative. In the locker room, he's a goofy guy.
What,
Time for a couple last ones?
Michael Taff,
That's my guy.
why is he your guy, and what, is he working at nickel and safety?
Yes, sir.
What stands out about him?
Taft's, he's for one, I have tremendous love for walk-ons, and Taft is a walk-on, and he plays safety. And Taft is one of those guys like JG that they work hard and they show you that everything they want, they're gonna get. And Taft, he's a very smart player. Taft, he knows the game.
What have you done well this camp? You've given a lot of compliments to all your teammates, but what have you done well this camp?
This is my role. I want to make my teammates better. I feel like that's one thing I take pride in, is communication and surrounding everybody around me, putting them in the best position they can be in.
When you think back to last year, you had those 5 starts, and then you go to the bench. What did that teach you? What kind of resolve did that build in you?
It just taught me that everyone works together. We're going to put the best man out there and to do whatever to win the game. And that's one thing that led to this year, that I wanted to make sure that everybody can understand what I'm understanding. You know what I'm saying?
JT still give you crap about stripping him in the spring game?
Oh, no, it's next play mentality.
He said he thought the whistle was blown.
Yeah, next play mentality, man.
Going into fall camp, Sark said, among his top 3 questions he wanted answered, the secondary was like second on that list. How do you think the secondary is answered?
I feel like secondary has come together. I feel like we're going to do some good things this year.
Were you concerned about it going into camp, and now you've seen it and you
Not
feel
at all.
better, or?
Not at all.
Anything else?
What about the receivers, like the young guys, Savion Red,
They're showing up,
Casey Kane?
making plays.
You mentioned yourself. Is there somebody else that's kind of stepped up as a leader that hadn't had that role before?
Yeah, Christian Jones. We all know about Junior, and I talked to him the next day, knowing, it's me and him out there with the young guys. And so we've kind of taken that personally, because we know that it all starts up front. And with that being the case, we kind of talk to each other, knowing like, hey, this is our time to step up, time to lead this pack and do good things this year.
Jake, how would you? Just going back to what you just said about the way you guys think about coaches have expectations with you guys too. Is that part of the culture shift and the way this program becomes a better program?
Yeah, I mean, I think just our culture is changing because we understand how important it is to be player-led, because sometimes players may not flow right with coaches, but they need to flow right with their teammates, because at the end of the day, it's the 11 guys out there who are, battling for each other, knowing that they have the guy next to them. So having that mindset, knowing like, hey, you may not agree with the coaches on some things, but hey, we are, as a team, are coming together, being player-led, knowing that if you go out there on the field, that guy next to you is gonna, have your back. So that's kind of what we're focusing on right now.
How would you describe how the room felt about Quinn being named starter.
Yeah, we were very supportive. You know, we know it's a competitive mindset. Every practice during fall camp, you know, the two guys have been going. Both have had great practices up to this point, and it was Coach Sark's decision. And you know, whoever goes out there, we're going to support them. But every day is a competition, so I'm just glad that we're able to get in a rhythm now and you know, get this offense to where it needs to be.
How did Coach Floyd challenge you as freshman and junior at the beginning of camp and throughout camp to help the half your room who's playing their first snaps?
Yeah, he kind of just reminded us how it was when we were in their shoes. I know whenever I came in, I had Derek Kerstetter and Sam Cosme, and those guys helped me out a lot, and they've got me to where I am today. So I just got to be that to them because I know how important that was to me. And having guys like Cole Hudson and DJ Campbell and Kelvin Banks out there, kind of see myself out there in them whenever I was younger. So I want to service to them, knowing that, you know, they can always lean on me for if they have any confusion in plays, you know, I'm going to be there for them.
With junior, how would you kind of assess the depth at center behind you?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Flood always has a backup plan, whether that's, you know, Connor Robertson, the freshman, or whoever's there. Cole Hudson, yeah, I've seen him take snaps at center, Logan Parr. All those guys, you know, they're ready. They come to me about questions because they're playing multiple positions, but I think, you know, we have a solid foundation behind me. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Jake, obviously, you know, the relationship between a quarterback and offensive line is integral to any team's success. I mean, what's your relationship been like with Quinn, and I guess maybe how has he gone about building a relationship with you and the other guys on the line?
Yeah, you know, at first, you know, he was a little shy, but he's really opened up to us, and that's kind of built confidence into the O-line because we want a quarterback, you know, who's going to lead us, you know, not just tell us what to do, but actually lead us and, you know, have a positive mindset out there when things don't go right. So I think he's definitely hold true to those characteristics, and it's just been exciting to see him grow as a player. You know, he definitely came out of high school early, but, you know, it's just awesome to be out there with him, see him do what he does, throw the football. So.
You know, it's hard, obviously, for freshmen to start on the line. So talk about Banks and Campbell and what you've seen from them, throughout the offseason.
Yeah, those guys have definitely stepped up. There's definitely been growing pains, but that's normal for freshmen. You know, going from high school being the star athlete to college, everybody around you is a star athlete. So it's just they've had to accept that, you know, swallow the pill, and they've been coming every day ready to work. Taking Coach Flood's coaching, learning our techniques, learning the plays, asking me questions, asking Christian Jones questions, junior, you know, who may be on the sideline, but he's still been a good leader for us to, you know, keep that culture that we want. So
some of the guys have talked about the sheer size of the freshmen when they came in. I mean, did you guys even kind of marvel at even being, as big as you guys are? When they came in, were you kind of like?
Yeah, I think the one guy that stood out was Cam Williams. Sometimes I call him Little Bro, but that doesn't really look like the case. So, but yeah, those guys, you know, Coach Flood says the best big humans is what he wants, and it's just good to have those guys a part of our O-line and see the, you know, the steps we're making to be a true O-line with all these young guys learning so fast because, you know, whether a guy leaves or not, you know, they're right there to step up. So.
Do you feel like we always talked about this with Zach? He always talked about he felt like as the center he was responsible for everybody, even though everybody can lean on everyone else.
Yeah.
I mean, do you feel that way, especially going to be playing next to a freshman, right? Is it your job to kind of make sure in the huddle that, hey, you can tell by everyone's eyes that everyone knows what we're doing, and then when you put your hand down, everyone's confident on their calls and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, that's my job is to make sure the O-line's on the right track. And whether that we're all on the wrong page, as long as we're on the same page, you know, that's what's important. So, you know, I've kind of embraced that role very early, just telling the guys, you know, lean on me when you're not sure, because I'm going to tell you, because, like, I've took it upon me to learn these plays to where if even the tackle has a question, I'll help them out. And, yeah, I mean, Zach was completely right. You know, the center's a very important position, and I feel like I can continue to improve, but also those guys can lean on me whenever they need.
How would you describe the chemistry Because obviously you've had a bunch of guys moving all over the place.
Yeah.
That's Flood's deal. But, you know, a little less than 2 weeks out, how would you describe the chemistry on the line and your level of confidence going up against other opponents?
Yeah, I would say the chemistry's high. We came into the summer with these new guys. Cole Hudson already came early. You know, he bought into what we have, and these young guys when they came in, you know, growing pains, like I said, but these guys are really starting to pick it up, and you can tell every day, whether that's individual or getting out there early for practice, because that's what we do. They're starting to buy into this culture, and with that, the chemistry starts to go up because, you know, we're all on the same page. And that, I'm so happy to see that because it builds confidence in me, knowing that these guys are going to be out there working on whatever they need to and continue to improve as an O-line.
What stood out about Hudson?
Cole Hudson?
Cole Hudson.
Yeah, first of all, he's from my area, North Dallas. You know, shout out to North Dallas. But we just really connected right off the bat because I don't know what it is, but us North Dallas guys, we get each other. You know, we have the same humor. We understand, you know, where we're coming from. And I think that's just what made me love Cole so much is we got to know each other through recruiting. You know, I was his host, and I was able to, you know, tell him to come here, and he made the right decision because he's here now, and I'm just happy he's here. You know, he's like a little brother to me. And
Got one more for Jake.
What about him on the field? Like,
oh yeah, oh of course.
In terms of him grasping.
Yeah, he's definitely picked up the schemes well. He understands his position. He understands what rules he has, but also he's very strong at the point of attack, and he's done very well. You know, he plays right next to me, so he's done well giving help whenever the center needs.
Did you have much of a relationship with Shaq? I know you guys times kind of back to back, and if so, what did you learn about the center position and leadership from him and also Derek?
Yeah, I had a good relationship with Shackelford. Very small, but I was able to talk to him during my recruiting visits, and he told me how important the position was, and it was good to hear that from him because he understood that I might be playing that position. But I think Derek Kerstetter is probably one who gets a lot of credit for where I'm at now because I was there with him whenever he was going through the center position, and I was able to learn some things that he taught me. So, yeah, Derek Kerstetter definitely helped me out.
Have you tried Bijan's mustard yet?
No, but I told him I better get some because I need some in my house. I better get a good supply of it pretty soon because he's been barking about it, about how it's good. But
How are sales going?
yeah, I mean, the O-line definitely needs to have a taste test pretty soon because it's pretty important to make sure we're on the same page with what's good mustard and what's not. So
When you face guys like Siaka Ika at Baylor, you know, those behemoths,
yeah.
what's your mindset and, you know, how much one-on-one you can handle and how much help?
Yeah. I mean, I understand going into the situation what I have and what I don't. Clearly, with those guys like that, I don't have the size, but you know, I'm not going to let them outwork me. You know, if I get beat in a rep, you know, next play mentality. You know, it's not the end of the world. And also, I understand like maybe not favored, but I'm going to give it my all. And Coach Becton always tells me, you know, pit bull mentality. And you know, you just gotta bite those ankles. You gotta be nasty. You gotta be, you know, a nuisance. And that's kind of what I try and carry in my game. And definitely this year, you'll probably see some more of that. So, yeah.